page of the Sun. I can't play 56 City games a season. It's just not healthy. Rodri, Martin Blackburn writing this morning. It's the back page of the Sun. He says he cannot play another unhealthy 56 games a season. He's 27 years young, and he said he's declared to Pep Guardiola and to Manchester City that playing 56, 59 or 60 games is just not healthy for him. He says as a football player it's just too much on the body, and then of course he's angry as well at the added time that's coming from all these games as well.
Wonder.
Is it too much?
Yes.
60 games a season?
90 plus 10, 90 plus 11. Get lost. I'm not.
But isn't that a little dig maybe to Pep saying, you brought Kalvin Phillips in, give him some game time? I'm playing all this football. I want a rest, and there's certain games where you can play Phillips, and you're not having him. Like, it's a little dig at both at Phillips and Pep for me.
But also it's just a tale of two halves, really. You're the best, you're one of the best players in the world. You're at Manchester City. You are earning a good amount, and you're asked to play a lot of football. But then also, should the managers be utilising the substitutes a little bit more? I think it's a fair point.
I think look at the squads. They're mad not to. Although don't get me wrong, you want to win every game, and City, everyone wants to beat City, don't they?
But it is difficult. People don't realise when you're actually in that football world and you're a football player, playing 2 games a week is not easy.
Yeah.
Every week. No matter if you're 19, 20.
The guys in the Championship?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to have that squad rotation.
Well, this is interesting because Kevin De Bruyne obviously spoke out about his anger at the added time as well, but maybe he should focus his anger more at FIFA and the governing bodies, because it's only getting worse for Manchester City as well, being one of the best teams in the world. They had 9 games in 28 days at one point, and of course it's going to extend as well, because the Club World Cup will now extend from 7 teams to 32 teams, which means the finalists will play 7 extra games. Of course, then there's 4 now places allocated to the Champions League winners between 21 to 24, so Chelsea and Manchester City are already in, but teams could now be playing 70 games a season. And then in terms of internationals, that's another 8 to 10 games. And then if you've got AFCON as well, you could be looking at 85 games a season.
I remember
for the likes
Russell
of
Ipswich, 81, 82. I think he played 72 games, something like that.
They've got the Super Cup as well, haven't they, Wednesday? Manchester City, they don't need that really in there.
Yeah, I guess the fault really is coming from above then. Football's making a lot of money at this point in time, but it is burning out the players. Rodri speaks of burnout, and he's 27 years old. He's young enough, but as if it's coming too much for these players as well. How many games max would you have played in a season, Al?
You never fit. You never fit, was you, for after games?
I got a few injuries, yeah.
Chocolate and easier.
I think the best I got was 28 goals, and I probably paid...
No one mentioned the goals.
No,
went to the games.
To work out how many... I think I played 28 games, 28 goals, Gab, something like that. No, I played 30 odd. I wouldn't have played every game, in the old First Division.
And in this day and age, do you think your body would be able to cope with?
Absolutely, body's a temple, no problem.
Are.
With a diet, no tackling, pitches are beautiful, easy peasy.
But I do think, jokes aside, with Manchester City and the squads that they've got this season, you've got to give Kalvin Phillips more game time. You can't sign a player for that amount of money and not play him. Rodri should be like, you know what, he plays 3 Premier League games, he gets rested for the odd weekend in the Premier League, Champions League, he can get rotated. Last season, Kalvin Phillips just left to rot on the bench. So I could understand what Rodri's saying.
And let's not forget, the Championship, okay, there's some big clubs in the Championship, but there's smaller clubs and Division 1, Division 2. They want as many games as they can get for money. Do you know what I mean? Players need the money down there. Premiership players, like they got a cigar out, and once they sign the contract, they're made for life. Yeah. So it depends where you're playing and what club you're playing at and what division.
Also, one of the main stories in the back pages of the papers today is about the Saudi Pro League. Saudi League, no threat to English game. That's the back page of the Times. Martin Ziegler, Tom Roddy, saying that the Premier League chief exec has claimed that English football's 160-year history and traditions mean there is no threat from the Saudi Pro League to its global popularity. Of course, it kicks off tomorrow night, as does the Premier League. Some massive names, 20 huge players left this transfer window to go and join Saudi. And then there's a brilliant piece actually inside one of the papers today by Mike Keegan, and he's talking about the growth of Saudi Arabia and why this is going to be something that can rival the likes of the Premier League. He says young people are self-evidently Saudi Arabia's future. A staggering 70% of its population would be under 35. It's the 7th biggest country in the world for social media usage. This is YouTube's #1 country as well. And wait for this. When Cristiano Ronaldo joined Al Nassr, the attendances grew by 149% year on year. So, for example, Noel Gallagher on Drive yesterday, he was like, I'm not going to watch it. We follow the clubs, we don't follow the players. But actually, as a generational thing, it's all about social media access to players. Will that affect the Premier League?
I'm not going to hoo-ha it, but it wouldn't be for me, regardless of money. No, not at all.
You wouldn't watch Saudi just to see even like Jota, how he gets on, Celtic player, going to Saudi. Don't care anymore?
No.
I think there will be some...
I like tradition.
There will be some people that do. You know, maybe some of the younger generation that want to watch Ronaldo and see his games, and you got Ronaldo and Mane now in the same team. Maybe they will, but for me, I'm with Al. I'm not at the moment. Maybe in the future. But what's it like now to get into Saudi Arabia? Is it getting easier to like go and watch games live?
Well, yeah, of course. They're building stadiums willy-nilly. That actually,
no, I mean, for like, say, for like us guys here, can we go and fly to Saudi Arabia and watch a game? Is it easier to get into the country? That's something that we need to find out as well.
You might be in trouble. In fact, you're definitely not going in.
Saudi, Dubai, it's boiling though. It's, you know, have you been over there?
In October, it's nice.
Dubai, I've not been to Saudi.
October's nice.
No, you come back from Mallorca, you were too hot, so you've got no chance.
But I do think that not at the moment people aren't going to be too bothered about the Saudi League.
It's a generational thing. It feels like as well. Like the youngsters definitely.
And you can see the clips, can't you? You'll see the Ronaldo goal on Twitter. You know, the people don't watch the whole game. You want to see like as Ronaldo scored, as Mane scored. You'll see little like 15-second clips on social media.
You'll see it on Twitch and Instagram, Alan. Don't worry about it.
TikTok.
What's Twitch?
Twitch is the new one, no? Threads. That's
Twitch.
what I meant to say.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.